Welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. My name is Jasmine. I'm going to serve as your facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first, you can use the Q&A feature on your screen to type your questions to our panelists at any point throughout our session today. Second, your camera and microphone are off, so we cannot see or hear you. Third, this is just one of a few different sessions we're offering, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, this presentation is being recorded. You'll have access to that recording within about a week or so. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our first presenter from Johns Hopkins University.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. Hi, everybody. My name is Stephanie Serini. I'm an admissions counselor at Johns Hopkins University. Let me share my screen real quick here. Give a quick little presentation. All right, so again, I represent Johns Hopkins University, which is a research institution located in Baltimore, Maryland. Here, there we go. All right, so a little bit of background on Johns Hopkins. We were founded back in 1876 as the first research university in the United States. As you can see here, there are a lot of different schools and organizations that fall underneath that greater university umbrella, but I am here representing the two undergraduate schools, the Whiting School of Engineering and the Krieger School of Arts and Sciences, which are both housed on the Homewood campus in Baltimore. There are lots of other graduate programs and other institutions across the Baltimore and DC area that students do have access to do things like research or internships and other sorts of experiences. But the focus of undergraduate student life is really on the Homewood campus. So while we were founded as a research university, Johns Hopkins also has a liberal arts curriculum. We focus on the liberal arts to really guide the way our students learn, to make sure every student gets a very well-rounded education. We offer a really flexible curriculum structure, so students are really able to build their schedules in a way that makes the most sense to them, regardless of their major. So every student is going to take a wide array of classes across multiple subject areas, but you have a lot of flexibility in selecting those classes to fulfill what we call distribution requirements. So every student is going to be taking a wide breadth of classes, and you're able to very easily double major, pursue a minor or two. You have a lot of flexibility in building that schedule. Because we are also a research university, we have a strong focus on some more applied experiences. So we find that the liberal arts really sets a strong foundation for our students, but then our students kind of take their learning to the next level through some more practical things like research or internships, or study abroad experiences. We have a lot of student groups that have hands-on experiences. For example, our marketing groups that work with real companies and create marketing campaigns on their behalf. So there's a lot of different ways to get those more applied experiences, but that's how our students really get their hands dirty and get the true understanding of what these things that they're learning in the classroom mean in a real world setting. They really get to contribute to the academic landscape, and this is regardless of the student's major. So every single student at Hopkins, whether they're studying the natural sciences, the humanities, the social sciences, or engineering, all have access to things like research opportunities and internships. We have a great support network to make sure that every single student is aware of the opportunities and can create those connections. We also have a really robust student community on campus. We have more than 400 student-led organizations. Because everything is student-led on campus, our students really do get to shape the campus culture. They're the ones, planning all the events, bringing all the speakers to campus, doing kind of everything to make our campus function. And so it becomes a really vital part of the experience. Our community really does extend into our hometown of Baltimore as well. Baltimore is an amazing city to be a college student for so many reasons. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of outdoor spaces, theaters, museums, amazing restaurants. There's a lot of great community service opportunities, internship opportunities, as I mentioned before. So we're very lucky to be in this great city. And our campus is, we have a campus, but we are very much located in the city as well. So you really do get the best of both worlds in that way. So after students graduate from Hopkins, they are really well equipped to kind of do whatever it is that they want to, whether it is go to grad school, go straight into the workforce, whatever field of work they're interested in. We have students who are, have the skills, who have the knowledge, who are very adaptable, so they can really kind of roll with things. As we all know from this past year, sometimes things are unexpected and you don't really know what's coming. And so we make sure our students are, adaptable learners who know how to communicate effectively and who are really critical thinkers. And so they're really able to kind of adapt with the times. And so we see our students going off in a million different directions, but they really are going on to top graduate programs. They're being recruited by top companies in every single field. And we find that our students go on to be very successful. So in terms of admissions, I won't go too much into detail about what the requirements are, but I think one thing that's really important to point out is that we do meet 100% of demonstrated need when it comes to financial aid. So every single student will have their 100% of need met. Our financial aid packages don't include loans. So students are able to graduate debt-free. Our financial aid packages only include grants and work study. So we're very proud to be able to support our students in that way. We're also a need blind institution, so that's not a factor in our admission process. We take a very holistic approach to the application review. If you have any specific questions about how we evaluate those, I'm happy to answer those in the chat. But just for the sake of time here, we'll move on. We have a lot of actual other opportunities to learn about Hopkins. I definitely highly recommend going to our website and looking at our college planning toolkit. We offer tons of virtual events. We have information sessions, guided virtual tours, essay planning workshops, financial planning workshops. We offer a lot of different things to kind of help you dig into the different pieces of the college search and the application process. So I highly recommend checking out some of those. And then for other ways to just learn about our community and who we are, I would definitely recommend checking out some of these websites that are listed here. Our admissions page has all the requirements as well as just general information about Hopkins. Hopkins Insider is a student-led blog, so you can read about student profiles, alumni profiles. There are various blogs about students and their clubs or just things that they're doing on campus. So I would definitely check that out. I highly recommend following us on Instagram as well. It's been pretty active, and so you can see what some of our clubs are up to. We have students and or alumni who do takeovers pretty much every Tuesday. There's one actually today that just finished. One of our students answered questions that were submitted through the DMs. So if you have questions for a student, you're welcome to follow us and submit them there too. And then at the bottom here, I'll just point out, we have a website, Meet the Staff page. That is where you can find the contact information for your regional counselor, which is actually not me, but I will drop her email address into the chat. And then askastudent@jhu.edu is an email address that is managed by the students who work in our office. So that's a great place to direct any questions for a student. So thank you all for your time. I will be here to answer questions in the chat.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen first. Okay. Go. Hi, everyone. My name is Anisha. I'm an admissions counselor at Montclair State University. I'm going to run through this quick PowerPoint and then can answer any questions you might have. Alrighty, so Montclair State University was established in 1908. It's located in, of course, Montclair, New Jersey. I myself love the area. It's very safe surrounding campus, and we are just 12 miles away from New York City. There are 2 train stations that pull right into campus, so I would say it's the best of both worlds. If you're a city person, great. If you like small towns, Montclair has a beautiful main street close by. We have around 21,000 students total on campus, but classes do tend to be smaller. So around 25 students per class. So you really get that one-on-one attention from your professor, as well as getting to know the students around you. We are very well known for our business programs, as well as our dance school. We're military friendly and very proud to be one of the top 25 LGBTQ+ schools. We have over 300 majors, minors, and concentrations to choose from. Some of our most popular are listed here. Biology is really popular, very big, as well as nursing this year. Chemistry has also become very popular. Exercise science, we get a lot of students interested in education, which is great, as well as justice studies, lots of students going into law enforcement. But if you're still unsure about what you want to do, we have a great undeclared program where you kind of get to pick a track within a subject to really figure out what major would work best for you. We also offer 5-year bachelor's and master's programs, so you could get your master's in your 5th year rather than 2 years right after completing your bachelor's. And this works with certain majors. For example, chemistry is a really popular one for students, psychology, where you can just apply right into this master's program. We do also have 4+1 MBA programs if you're interested in taking a specific type of major like environmental science and then getting your MBA. So if you want that background in environmental science and you want to take that into the corporate world, that MBA is going to really help you stand out. So outside of academics, Montclair State has a very involved student body. Our commuters and residents do a lot on campus. I always remind students who may be a little bit weary about that is they are our res meters. A lot of students are working on campus or starting their own clubs or in some sort of activity. We have over 120 different clubs and organizations on campus. They can be based on major, hobbies, cultural clubs, literally any hobby you can probably find a club for. And if you can't, you can always start your own. There's Greek life as well as intramural sports. And we are Division III, so there are different types of sports you can look into for that. Study abroad is also really popular at Montclair. With everything going on, of course, we didn't send anyone abroad this year, but we're hoping to, continue that on later, hopefully next year. A lot of our students like to go to many different countries. We offer over 60 countries to work with. Our most popular tend to be Australia, Spain, France, and Italy. But again, there's a wide range for you to choose from. Our students on campus also really enjoy working on campus. A lot of student jobs are offered. So many of our exercise science students like to work within the gym. A lot of students I work with like to be tour guides or work directly with our admissions office. So there's a wide range for you to choose from. And I always suggest students do that because, then school and work are in the same place. We also have a lot of internships we offer students, and typically this goes through our career services office. And most majors will even require some sort of internships. Most of our students will end up taking 2 right before they graduate, and this really helps build up your resume. So when it comes to applying, you just need to do either the Common App or apply through our website. With our application, we typically require, your high school transcript, the application itself, a letter of recommendation, as well as an essay, depending on your major. And we are SAT, ACT optional. So we don't require those scores, but if you want to send them over, you're more than welcome to. And if anyone here may be interested in any of our arts programs, typically there's a portfolio or audition review. Now, when it comes to our deadlines, of course, they did pass, but I did want to mention them. They're on our website. Typically, we have an early priority deadline, and then we have our big deadline for the full year. For our out-of-state students, we offer a national student scholarship, which is great. If you come in with a specific GPA, you can actually have your tuition lowered to the in-state rate rather than being charged out of state. And so with everything going on, we have a lot of virtual activities that I highly recommend you check out. We just had our virtual open house a few months ago, but right now we're doing a lot of special topic information sessions about financial aid, different majors, residence life, commuting. So I highly recommend, again, check them out. This way you get to meet students, different faculty and staff, and get more of a grasp of what it's like to be at Montclair. We do have a virtual tour, but we are actually offering in-person tours. So if you'd like to come, check out our website, you can sign up and just remember to follow a certain protocol, and you can bring family with you. But if you want to do your own tour, you can even print out a map. There's like a self-guided tour you could do yourself. If you had any questions for me specifically, my email is right here and I'll list it in the chat. And other than that, thank you guys so much for coming, and I'm going to let the next presenter go.
Hi, thank you so much. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. My name is Ryan Malinzak. I'm one of the assistant directors of undergraduate admissions here at Stevens. So I'm just going to give you all a quick presentation, and then always feel free to go into the chat and send me some messages. So what sets us apart? I think it's really important to always think about what sets us apart from other universities. And for us, the biggest thing is our location. We're located in Hoboken, New Jersey. So a little bit later on in this presentation, I'll talk about a little bit more about Hoboken, but we're so close to New York City without being that quote unquote city school. So I always say Stevens students have the best of both worlds because you have the very traditional college campus, but then you have everything that Hoboken has to offer and then everything that New York City has to offer as well. We have absolutely incredible research and professional opportunities for our students while they are in school. So research starting from your freshman year, internships starting from your freshman year as well, and co-ops as well. And then return on investment. So our students get jobs very quickly, and they tend to have very high paying jobs as well. So here at Stevens, we do have 5 areas of study. So we have the School of Science, the School of Business, Computer Science, Humanities and the Arts, and last but certainly not least is the School of Engineering. So there are all different concentrations under each school. When you do apply to Stevens, you do have to apply to a specific area of study. So you cannot apply undecided overall, but if you know you want to be an engineer and you don't know which concentration you want to pursue, that's absolutely fine. And you can apply engineering undecided or business undecided, and you do have some time to figure out which concentration you want to pursue. And once you do get to Stevens, you will be paired up with an academic advisor, and they will work with you throughout your time at Stevens to make sure you're taking the right classes at the right time, staying on track to graduate and everything like that. We have a really active and robust student life here at Stevens. We do have over 100 clubs and activities for our students. We have tons of performing arts opportunities. We have annual events and traditions. We have 25 Division III varsity sports, intramural and recreational sports, and our students also conduct over 15,000 hours of community service every year. So it's really easy to get involved on campus. So in the fall semester, we will have a clubs and activities fair where you can go and chat with the advisors of the club to find out how you can get involved. It's really easy to do so. We also have a handful of different sororities and fraternities as well. So there's really something for everyone, depending on what you're interested in. So now I'm going to go back to our location. So we refer to Hoboken as the square mile city or the most walkable city. So Hoboken itself is just a really unique place to live and study. It's absolutely a college town. Everywhere you walk throughout Hoboken, you will see students in their Stevens gear or sweatshirts. I live in Hoboken myself. I've been here for 2 years and I absolutely love living here. There's so much to do and everything is accessible by foot. So it's really nice, especially for you all being in Brooklyn or the surrounding areas. It's nice that you do have the option to commute if you wanted to, or you could live on campus. So it is nice that you do have both of those options available to you. And the really great thing about Stevens, like I said before, is you do have the best of both worlds. So once you walk off of campus, 5-minute walk from campus is Washington Street. So that's the main street in Hoboken. So that's where you can find all of your coffee shops, restaurants, grocery stores, pharmacies. We're a 10-minute walk to the PATH train. So really easy access into New York City, 2 ferry services, and the bus service that takes you into Port Authority. So you have everything that New York City has to offer, but you have the Stevens campus and Hoboken as your home base. What you see on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, those are our brand new residence halls. So we are building 2 15-story buildings. They're going to house nearly 1,000 students. They're going to have sweeping views of New York City and the Hudson River. So we're really excited about this. Both those buildings are constructed right now. So if you're actually on the west side of Manhattan, you can actually see the 2 res halls from the city, which is really cool. And we're building a brand new university center as well. So that's going to house brand new workout facilities, dining services, clubs and activity space. So that's going to be our main hub for our students. And it's slated to be completed for the fall of 2022. So we're really looking forward to this. It's a really exciting project that we have going on, but really our location is really what sets us apart. We have tons of research opportunities, internship opportunities, co-ops as well. So we have really great opportunities for our students to have professional experiences while they are in school. And a lot of these professional experiences will turn into full-time jobs as well. So currently we're ranked 17th in the nation for best return on investment. We have a 96% job placement rate within 6 months of graduation. And that job placement rate did remain the same during the pandemic as well. So our students are still getting jobs during these crazy times. And 11th in the nation for best career placement. Our average starting salary right now is about $77,000. So that's well above the average starting salary as well. Here at Stevens, we are a common application school. So once you submit your common app to Stevens, we're also going to require the essay, your official high school transcript, 2 letters of recommendation, one from your high school guidance or college counselor and one from a teacher. We have chosen to go test optional as well due to the pandemic. So it's not required, but if you want to, feel free to submit them. Regular decision is our main pool of students. We also have early decision 1 and 2 as well, but majority of our students do apply through regular decision, which has a January 15th application deadline. And then all of our students are automatically considered for merit-based scholarships when they apply to the college. So no additional application needed there. And for financial aid, you must submit the FAFSA as well as the CSS profile. So if you are admitted into the college, with your acceptance letter will come your financial letter. So that wraps up. I think I'm 6 minutes on the dot, but that's my contact information. But if you do have any questions, feel free to type in the chat right now. Thank you all for joining me, and I'm going to pass it along to the next presenter. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
All right, hello, how's everybody doing? My name is Jordan. I'm with the University of Pittsburgh's Office of Admissions and Financial Aid. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and get started here. All right, so of course I'm with the University of Pittsburgh. So we actually settled in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is actually in the western part of Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is a really unique place. It's comprised of close to 90 different neighborhoods altogether, and every neighborhood sort of has their own identity. So we're actually settled in the Oakland neighborhood of the city of Pittsburgh. Oakland is a really unique place. It's really an inclusive sort of environment. We share Oakland with Carnegie Mellon University and Carlow University. So again, sort of get this really sort of inclusive type of feel. We're considered to be a medium-sized urban campus. We have a student population of close to 20,000 undergraduate students altogether. So we're not too big, we're not too small. We're sort of right in between, which is how we like it. You see some pictures here of our campus. You sort of get the best of both worlds with us. You get the traditional campus feel with the greenery and the trees. You also get the urban feel as well with the tall buildings that we have on campus. This building that you see to your right is called the Cathedral of Learning. It's actually the second largest educational building in the world. It's actually the largest in the Western Hemisphere. So these are just some fun facts about the University of Pittsburgh. So we have 10 undergraduate schools altogether. We have over 100 programs to choose from. Really, students come from all over the world to attend Pitt for a number of different reasons and a number of different programs. We do a lot of things extremely well. A lot of our programs are nationally ranked. Some of our more popular majors include, anything in the health fields, pre-med, nursing, computer science, political science, just to name a few. We have a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So we like to keep the classes pretty small. 70% of undergraduate classes actually have less than 30 students. So that's something that we actually sort of pride ourselves on, especially considering the size of our school altogether. So as an incoming freshman, students are able to apply to one of 5 freshman entry-level schools. They're all going to be listed right here. So that means when students apply to Pitt, you have to choose from one of these schools to initially apply to. So first we have the Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. The School of Arts and Sciences houses all of our natural sciences, our social sciences, our liberal arts degrees, our fine arts degrees, humanities, pretty much everything else in between. We have the College of Business Administration, which offers 7 different majors in the business realm. Some of these majors include marketing, finance, accounting, just to name a few. We have 10 majors in the Swanson School of Engineering, including mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, environmental engineering. The School of Computing and Information houses all of our computer science and our information sciences programs. Then we have our School of Nursing, which houses both our undergraduate and our graduate nursing programs. Our undergraduate nursing program is a 4-year direct entry-level program. So students will be starting off directly in the School of Nursing and doing the nursing curriculum as soon as they get on campus, and then they'll be graduating in 4 years with their BSN. We also have 5 upper level division schools. They're all going to be listed right here. The way these schools work, typically students will start in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, and then they would apply to transfer into the school which houses their respective interest. Depending on your program, depending on your major, there's going to be different completion requirements and timeframes depending. So let's say, for instance, we have a student who is interested in our School of Pharmacy. They'll start off in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences for 2 years, followed by an additional 4 years in the School of Pharmacy. They'll be graduating in 6 years, and they'll be completing and graduating with their PharmD degree. So again, every program is a little different and different completion requirements and timeframes. So we have a very robust student life. Students are definitely involved both inside the classroom and outside of the classroom in some way, shape, or fashion. We have over 700 different student clubs and organizations to choose from. So that means that anything that you guys were involved with in high school, you can certainly continue once you're a student at Pitt. We have anything from Greek life, fraternities, sororities. We have different community service-based organizations. If you guys are huge Beyonce fans, such as myself, you may want to join the Beyonce Appreciation and Humanitarian Club, just to name a few. We are part of the Division I when it comes to athletics. We're part of the ACC. Most popular programs are our men's basketball and our football team. We also have intramural sports and club sports as well. We offer 350 different over 350 study abroad programs, which spans to over 75 countries. So we definitely encourage students to look into study abroad. That's a really big component of just preparing students for a global workforce. And we also have an internship guarantee program available for all of our students. That internship guarantee program is ran through our career services office, which has students to complete what's called an internship prep program. Students who complete that program pretty much go through like different interviewing workshops, seminars, job interviewing seminars, things like that. You're guaranteed at least one internship by the time that you graduate. So internships are definitely not just for business students, they're available for all of our students. Just speaking about the admissions process briefly. So we practice rolling admissions. That means that students can apply to us at any time. There is no deadline for students to apply to us by. We're looking for the application. So we're part of the Common App, we're part of the Coalition app, as well as we have our own standalone application on our website. There is no preference for students applying through one platform versus another. We're looking for an application fee. We're going to be looking for your academic record. That could take the shape of your high school transcript. We also have a tool called the self-reported academic record, which allows students to sort of submit their own grades and their own coursework. We did introduce a test optional policy this past year, and we're going to be continuing with that. So you can feel free to apply with test scores or without test scores. And we also have short answer essay questions. And that's pretty much it. You have my contact information here. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat.
Okay, you can because your host has not stopped it yet. It seems I'm having a difficult time entering because if somebody hasn't stopped the video, there it goes. Okay, let me just get the screen up here. Screen. I will try. Okay, I will try to keep this as short as possible because we have another speaker. Good evening, everyone. My name is Carlton Lee, and I'm the Associate Director of Admissions here at Western Connecticut State University. Western Connecticut is a medium-sized New England college located in Danbury, Connecticut, about 60 miles outside of New York, about a 2-hour train ride from Grand Central Station. One of the nice things about Western is the overall population. We have around 5,600 students, around 3,000 full-time undergrads. So the classrooms are extremely small, no more than 25 students in the classroom. And believe it or not, the student-teacher ratio is around 12-1. We do have 4 separate schools at the university, the Ansel School of Business, which houses all of our business majors and criminal justice programs. In addition to that, we have our School of Professional Studies, which houses all of our education and nursing programs. We also have our Maricasa School of Arts and Sciences, which is our largest school, which houses most of our liberal arts majors. And we have our brand new School of Visual and Performing Arts, which is a $110 million structure, which houses all of our music majors, our theater majors, our art majors, and we actually have a new major in music production. We actually have our own recording studio on campus. The other nice thing about Western, we do have 75 different clubs and organizations, so there is a club for every single major on campus, and I encourage students to join the club or organization that pertains to that major, regardless of whether they attend school, because this way, maybe once or twice or every so often, you're going to have a guest speaker coming from the outside sector talking to you about your field of study. So this is a wealth of information you're going to get by just participating with these clubs and organizations. For those individuals looking to play a sport, we are Division III, and we do participate in the Little East Conference. At first glance at Western, one of the nice things that we like at Western, we have a very large advisement center because we understand that there are some students who are not fully, who don't know what they want to major in. Let's just put it blank. They don't fully know what they want to major in. So we allow these students to meet with an academic advisor for up to 3 semesters so they can sort out a major. And that works well. We encourage students to investigate majors before they just jump into a major. If you ever get the opportunity to come up to the campus, you'll notice we have a number of writing labs and math labs on campus that are open 24 hours for our students. And we have a unique program in our dormitories. We actually have tutoring within the dormitory. So if a student ever needs assistance, it's readily available right in the dormitories. And we have a very large career success center, which will help you out with resume writing when you're ready to graduate, with internships and things of that nature. One of the nice things about the internships and co-ops at Western is because of our proximity to New York, a lot of our students actually get the opportunity to do internships in the city. And this has worked out well for many of our business majors, because we all know New York is the financial capital of the world. And it's also helped out a lot of our visual and performing arts majors, because we also understand that New York is also the entertainment capital of the world. So that proximity to New York opens up a lot of doors for many of our students. That video. As I mentioned before, we participate in the Little East Conference. We are a Division III school. If somebody is looking to participate in the athletic program, we do have a link on our website. If you fill out the information, one of our coaches will get in contact with you. As far as admissions is concerned at Western, we try to keep our doors accessible to all students. We do look for SATs and ACTs, but over the last 2 years, we actually went SAT optional. So SATs are not required. And one thing I do have to I went to the disregard, which says the top 35% of the class. They haven't removed that from my PowerPoint as yet, but everything else holds true. We are SAT optional. So we do keep, once again, we do keep our doors accessible to all of our students. We do have a number of scholarships available for our students based upon your performance before coming into Western. We have a presidential, trustees, and an honor scholarship. In addition to that, we also have a number of scholarships available to you at the university based upon your performance at the school. So that opens up a lot of doors for additional money while you're at the university. We have a very large honors program. It's called our Maracostas Honors Program. And some of the perks about being in the honors program, our honors students have their own wing in the dormitories. They have their own academic advisor. We also are blessed to have 6 past Fulbright scholars in our honors program. So that's something nice. And our honors students are able to take up to 21 credits a semester, putting them in a situation where they can possibly graduate early or possibly do a double major. I know I'm going through this fast because I want our next speaker to have time to speak also, and we can open up for questions. One of the unique things about Western is that we actually offer in-state tuition and fees to all New York and New Jersey residents. So somebody from New York attending a school like Western is going to pay the same exact amount as somebody attending one of your SUNY schools. So that makes Western very attractive to kids coming up from the New York vicinity. And that's Western in a whole. I will put my info. I know I went fast. I know there's another speaker and I want to give her time. So we do have an opportunity to answer questions. I will put my information in the bottom link. If you have any questions, you can email me anytime you want. And thank you once again for giving me this time. And I hope that the rest of the year, I hope you have a great rest of the year. That didn't come out, but I hope the rest of the year turns out well, because I know it's been very difficult for most of the students dealing with COVID. The only thing I can say to you, things will get better. And thank you for your time once again, and have a great evening.
Hi, everybody. It is very difficult to follow all of these wonderful institutions, but I'm here to give you a little bit more information about Western New England University. So give me 1 second. So my name is Emily Smith. I am an international admissions counselor, but I also have a domestic territory within New York City, including all of the boroughs, as well as Westchester. So a little bit about what we're going to be going over today, our academic offerings, including campus life, first year programs, student outcomes, and then finally the application process. Like all of the other counselors, I'll be putting all my information into the chat box so we can follow up, because I know this is a lot of information thrown at you all at once. We want to give a brief overview about what Western New England is. We were founded in 1919, so we just celebrated our centennial year now 2 years ago. And we were actually started as a branch of Northeastern and became a university in 2011. So just celebrated 1 decade of being a university. However, our alumni still very fondly call us WENIC. We're trying to move them away and moving towards WNE, or Western New England University. We are a small private institution, which means that we have about 2,600 undergraduate students and about 1,200 graduate level students. So these students are coming from all over the country, 40 different states and 26 different countries all over the world. To give you a size of what our campus looks like, we have about 28 academic buildings on campus. That might seem like a lot, but our campus is very walkable. We are a suburb within Springfield, Massachusetts, which is the third largest city in Massachusetts. Our campus is just under 200 acres, but again, you can get from one end of campus to the other in about 10, 11 minutes. I'm 6'2", so it only takes me about 8.5, but you know, it depends on how fast you're walking and how long your legs are. A little bit about our academic offerings. We have over 50 academic programs across all of the schools that you see on our left. This includes the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Business, College of Engineering, and then our graduate level programs do extend into the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, as well as the School of Law. So when we're talking about the number of students on campus, 2,600 is that magic number, which divides up into about 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio for all of our classes. They do get smaller as you go through your junior and senior year, but you know, the average size that you're looking at is about 12-to-1. So a lot of face time with the faculty is what you're going to be getting. Campus life, again, small private institution, you're going to be seeing a lot of the same people on campus, which is great. You build relationships over the 4 years and 5 years and 6 years if you do decide to do our extended degree programs. But we have over 70 clubs and organizations on campus. I would venture to guess that about 95% of our students are involved in at least one thing outside of academics. And for all of our athletes out there, if you are interested, we do have over 20 Division III men and women's sports. Most recently added was our women's ice hockey team. So they are actually in their first season, which is very exciting. So they are currently undefeated. We'd like to boast that. Your first year at Western New England is a very important year for any institution that you decide to go to. We just make it a point to make your transition year as easy as possible when you are at Western New England. You will have an entire office dedicated to your first year students and students in transition, starting out with your summer orientation registration. You're talking to your faculty advisors. You are meeting with peer advisors. You're meeting with people in your major to best make your academic schedule the best that it can be over the 4 years and set you up for success. We also have a comprehensive advising model called the 4U advising model. This means that once you step onto campus at Western New England, you are automatically paired with 4 advisors. These include a peer advisor, faculty advisor, university, and career advisor. All of them are pretty self-explanatory about what they might be, except for the university advisor. This is somebody who you can go to at any point during your 4 years and beyond at Western New England to start your question. They might not have the answer, but they will know where to find it. And all of our first year students will complete a first year seminar as well. So student outcomes, because unfortunately you can't stay at Western New England forever. In a report done in 2019, 92% of our graduates were offered employment within 6 months of graduation. That actually increased to 96% after 1 year of graduation. So you guys are going out, getting jobs, and that's what we like to hear as an institution. We have over 1,000 businesses and organizations in the Career Development Center that has partnerships and relationships with our alumni and companies in the area. We're located in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is an hour and a half from Boston, 2.5 hours away from New York City, 30 minutes from Hartford. So you have all these major city hubs that are within reach of all of our students and these giant companies that operate out of them. And based on a 2019 Zippia report, we were the #1 institution in Massachusetts for job preparedness and number 5 nationally. I always like to mention that Harvard is part of Massachusetts, so we beat them out for that thing, and I think that's pretty impressive. In terms of our application process, it will differ across all these different schools. So I just want to give you a broad overview. But we are on the Common App as well as the WNE application. We do have an early action deadline that will be November 1st. All we're looking for is your transcript. Test scores are optional, recommendations are optional, and essay goes along with the Common App. You can receive your decisions within about 2 weeks, and with your decision will be a merit scholarship if you are accepted. These merit scholarships range between $11,000 and $22,000 per year, and that's based on your high school GPA and your test scores if you choose to submit them. And then we are offering on-campus tours if you guys want to join us. We do have virtual tours as well as on-campus tours and other events for our accepted students right now. And we're looking to have on-campus events come this fall. So we really hope that you guys reach out. But otherwise, you can find us on social media, online, or if you want to give us a call. And again, I'll put all of my information in the chat box. So thank you guys so much for sitting through. And I hope you guys learned a little bit about our universities tonight.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and transition to the Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to use that Q&A feature. I'm going to encourage all of our panelists to return. Feel free to turn your camera back on, and I'm going to pose a question to the group. Feel free to respond in the order in which you presented. The question is, can you give an interesting or fun fact about your school?
Sure, I'll start. So there's a lot of fun facts about Johns Hopkins. I think one that I'll point out is the artificial sweetener saccharin was discovered at Johns Hopkins. It was discovered back in the 19th century in one of the chemistry labs. Rumor has it, it was, since this was back in the 19th century, you were allowed to smoke in the labs. And so there was a researcher who dipped his cigar. It happened to fall into one of his petri dishes, and he tasted it and realized it was sweet. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that it was discovered in the lab. The cigar part is up for debate, but kind of a cool way to discover something that's now used very frequently as an artificial sweetener in candy, drinks, all that kind of stuff. So fun fact about Johns Hopkins history.
So my fun fact, if anyone here has any young siblings or any parents here with any young kids, one of our recent grads from 2011, Josh De La Cruz, is actually the new host of Blue's Clues. So check that out. You'll see him on there. He's really great. I myself have a lot of nieces and nephews, so I've seen a lot of it. It's just fun to see him up there.
That's actually so funny. Blue's Clues was my favorite show growing up.
Right? Steve was great.
Right? Such a classic. But one unique fact about Stevens is we actually created bubble wrap, which is so random. But yeah, the bubble wrap that you play with from the packages, somebody at Stevens created that. We actually have a whole room in the admissions office that has bubble wrap wallpaper, so you can never forget about it. But that's Stevens' little fun fact.
I'm not sure who was next. I'm sorry. So I guess the University of Pittsburgh's fun fact is that we actually host the region's largest day of service. It's called Pitt Make a Difference Day, where over 3,500 students go out into a neighborhood of the city of Pittsburgh, and we actually help clean up. So it's a great time really just to give back to the community.
Okay, fun fact about Western, other than the fact, I think we have the #1 meteorology program in New England. Oh, here's a fun fact. Okay. Fun fact, if you ever watch this show, American Ninja Warrior, they have a gentleman on there that they call the weatherman. And the reason they call the weatherman because he was, and that's my fun fact.
My fun fact for Western New England is once you get onto campus, we actually have programming every single weekend that is guaranteed throughout the entire year. So there's actually more programs on campus than there are days in the semester. So there is never a lack of things to do once you're on campus.
Thank you all for sharing those fun facts about your institution. With that said, this concludes our virtual college fair for today. I want to thank our panelists for joining us, but also want to thank all the attendees. I do have a few closing announcements. So as you exit from this Zoom session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 4 questions or so, but please complete the survey. It's extremely helpful as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings in the future. Also want to remind you that you can sign up for additional sessions by visiting our registration site. And finally, you will have access to this recording within about a week or so. Again, thank you all for joining us. I hope everyone has a great evening.
Thank you.